Question: has Canelo successfully aged himself out? Let's talk about that.
Push the weight in no flex alive is one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I was just doing some thinking. I read certain things that are said on certain posts. People highlight it and they send it to me. Things said on Twitter. I say proudly that I don't own a Twitter account. It's like the wild, wild west over there. Certain things said on posts on Instagram, and I read these things, and it's like, wow, you have to disarm certain weapons that people are trying to use. And one of the things that I saw a few people say is that Canelo's old. Now, in that aspect, I said, well, he's not near 40. He's not yet near 40 yet, not quite. But he does have miles on him. He does have miles on him. The man went pro when he was like, what, 15, 16, 17, something like that? An uncanny amount of fights in Mexico. They let you do that over there, and he's in the ring old. By way of boxing, he's old. Now, this isn't a clown video. This isn't like a diss video. This is just something that I was thinking about, and salute to Stormy B Man, because he mentioned this too. And I got to thinking, I said, you know what? This guy has a lot of mileage on him. And that's something that John Ryder's camp brought up. And they may have been right, although John Ryder didn't have the tools to capitalize on Canelo and do what needed to be done, like the man you see in this picture, Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol has the tools to be successful. He had the size, he has the boxing ability, he has enough power to keep Canelo honest, and which is why I think a rematch with Bivol is a recipe for disaster. If you're on Team Canelo, Reynoso, tell him, yo, look, man, don't do it. You don't have to. I know you want to, but you don't have to. Because honestly speaking, now that I'm thinking about it, Canelo could go up to 175. I just saw a article on Boxing Scene where he said, same rules and everything. I'll go back up to 175 to face Bivol. Look, man, you're displaying this warrior's mentality, but listen, at this point in your career, there's certain things you don't need to do. Because I think as good as Bivol is, he's going to have less respect for you. And this time, if he hurts you bad, he's going to go for the kill. And we will see Canelo put in a position that we've never seen him before. I'm not talking about that little pop that Miguel Cotto's brother hit him with and had him on wobbly legs. No, I'm talking about a 175-pound man popping Canelo to the point where he can't defend himself. And at this point in his career, at this age, it's not a good idea. Now, when I asked, has he successfully aged himself out? What I'm talking about is his contemporaries. You see myself and a lot of people, even other Mexican fighters, saying, look, man, you're surrounded. There's guys that you have not fought. Now, he don't need to take this Bivol fight. All right. Matter of fact, for those of you that say he's the face of boxing, he didn't need to take the John Ryder fight, man. He didn't need to do it. He really didn't need to do it. But he did it. You want to say he's a mandatory fine. Last time Canelo had a mandatory, which was Triple G, he vacated the belt. You remember that? But look, man, this guy, this Mauricio Suleiman's favorite fighter. So basically, he didn't have to fight John Ryder. Case in point, right now in the WBC, I believe, David Benavidez is his responsibility. And there's no real talk about him taking that fight. He's talking about going up to fight Bivol. Which is, to me, at this point, it's crazy. It's crazy. He don't need to do that. You lost that fight fair and square. You got outboxed. The man's bigger than you. Okay, so you lost. It's all right. You got one off on Kovalev, but Kovalev is over the hill, and he was coming off of a tough fight with Anthony Yard. Fine, you got away with one. You tried to go up to fight Macaboo, but now looking back at it, that was not a gimme fight either. Macaboo's a cruiserweight. He's heavier than Bivol, man. And we don't know who Macaboo is. We're not checking for him, but he was a WBC champion. Who knows? Canelo might have went up to cruiserweight and messed up. We don't know. And I know Canelo, off of namesake, is a favorite going into a lot of these fights, but time is running out. It's running out, man. He has a lot of ring mileage on him. And this is a fair assessment. I'm not clowning and joking and calling him out his name. I'm not doing that. I'm talking to the Canelo fans that are going to watch this video to see if I say something disrespectful. Listen to what I'm saying and think about what I'm saying. There has to be a reason why he's not fighting his contemporaries. Now, years ago, he could have fought Jamel and Jamal and Andrade. He could have rematched Lara. Now, matter of fact, let me talk about the Lara fight. He was still with Oscar De La Hoya when he took that fight. Lara crashed his podium. Do you remember that? He crashed the podium, took the mic, and said something to him in Spanish and disrespected him. And Canelo got mad and told Oscar, make that fight. Oscar told him, don't take this fight. He said, no, make that fight. He disrespected me. Oscar was against it, but he made the fight. And right now, as we speak, there's people that say, yo, I think Lara won that fight. In other words, he did enough that people say, yo, you know what? Run it back because we don't know. A lot of people said run it back. Oscar was like, no, you see, you got away with one. They could have easily gave it to him. They gave it to you. Don't do that ish again. Do y'all remember that? Now we want to see a rematch. We'll never see a rematch. That's over with. He got his win and it's over with. But Lara, closed mouth don't get fed. He crashed the party. Cuba versus Mexico. And it was a great fight. A lot of people said Lara won it. But he got away with one. But Oscar said, yo, look, you gonna listen to me now? I'm telling you the right thing to do. There's certain things that you cannot do, man. There's certain things that you cannot do. That is one of them. Don't do it again. Look it up. He's avoided Lara like the plague. Now, what bothered him? Lara's style, lateral movement. That Cuban style is nothing to joke with, man. Lateral movement, a jab in his chest. He was able to fight him on the inside. He matched Canelo skill for skill. But a lot of people firmly believe that his namesake got him out of that fight, got him the win that night. So you had a lot of people saying, let's run it back. But the unconditional Canelo man fans, whom I talk about a lot, they said, hey, man, no. And it wasn't because, hey, man, you gotta put the exclamation on it. Run it back and dominate them next time. They were happy not making that fight happen again. They were happy not running it back. Like, whew, we ain't got to do that again. But Floyd Mayweather has 2 close fights in his career. He has to run them back to back. But we ain't going to say anything. With the exception of the Oscar fight, that was personal. Just to digress on that for a second, Floyd Mayweather was chasing around everybody in his weight class. He called out Shane Mosley. He called out Oscar De La Hoya. They ignored him because Floyd was in a draw back then. Shane Mosley and Oscar fought each other twice for millions of dollars, which made sense. And Floyd had to play his role. And when he got his position, he got the Oscar fight, he won. He said, man, I ain't got to do that for you anymore. I ain't got to run it back for you. So that was kind of personal. That was personal. But y'all get what I'm saying. Castillo, he had to fight him twice. Maidana had to fight him twice. Canelo had a tough fight with Lara. Nope. No one held his feet to the flames. And as good as Canelo is, they babied him on that. You understand? So now, what I'm noticing is he lost to Bivol. Now, there's a lot of fans that say, man, you ain't got to do that anymore. We know why you lost. Then there's fans saying, yo, nah, man, run it back. Let me talk to both of those fans. Leave Bivol alone. He doesn't have to do that. Because I'm going to tell you something else. If he goes up there and let's say he beats Bivol, now he got to defend those damn straps. Against who? There's only one other guy up there that made sense. Artur Beterbiev, General Zard. Do you think he's beaten General Zard? Do you think he's going to fare well against Artur Beterbiev? The answer is no. The answer is no. So don't put yourself into something you don't need to be, not with all this mileage on him. Now, did he age himself out? Now, Oscar may have told him, yo, look, Andre, yo, you thought Lara was a problem? This kid Andre is going to be an equal problem on the same level, or if not worse. So don't do that. Those Charlo boys, same thing. Those guys are problems. You avoid them at all costs. You have name value. Let us do our marketing for you. And when he got away from Oscar, he exercised that same thought process. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't do himself any favors because you know why? We're now 6 or 7 years later. Those guys are still around. 2 of them are undefeated. And then Benavidez pops up. Now he got another problem. Now he's talking about he don't want to fight Mexican fighters. Something that's just totally disrespectful. You're supposed to help your fellow Mexican fighters eat. This is boxing, man. And I know there's a racial aspect behind this sport. But what do you mean? And not for nothing, Benavidez is American. Let's cut the crap. But this is boxing, man. This man is linked to you by name. You're supposed to do something about this, Canelo. Again, I'm not clowning this man. But I'm saying he's aged himself out because now you haven't fought your contemporaries and they are still here. Jamal Charlo is still undefeated. Jamal got a draw and a loss, but he avenged every last one of those tight ones. And he's won in salute to Stormy B, man. Go subscribe. He's the one that pointed out to me. He said, man, Jamal has won every fight in every way you could think of. With every punch, hooks, uppercuts, jabs. The man's dangerous. So you got 2 Charlos. You got an Andre with all that lateral movement and boxing ability. You got people from Team Canelo being interviewed by Marco Antonio Barrera, I believe, talking about facing a black American style is difficult. That's what you said. I'm not going to look into whether it was disrespectful or not, but that's what you said. The fact that you have to even say that proves our point. So you got that. You got 3 black fighters that you steered away from that are still around, and now Benavidez pops up. You should have taken care of this business 6 or 7 years ago, man. You didn't do it. And they're still here. And now Benavidez pops up. And now David Morrell is here. We don't know how good he is, really. It's still early, but he's here. Excuse me. I saw a video clip where you tried to act like you didn't know who he was. But there's another video clip where you guys met. And surprise, surprise, he's also towering over you. He's towering over you, like Benavidez. Now, Morrell is still early. He got Ronnie Shields in his corner. So he's looking good. So far, so good. But he's beating guys he's supposed to beat. Can he beat Canelo? I don't know. But what I'm saying is the more this guy waits, there's guys coming up through the rankings. And I'm sure there's different guys. Christian and Billy. He's there. And if you don't know who he is, go look him up. Christian and Billy. He's a black guy from France. That guy's dangerous. Can he beat Canelo? I don't know, but he's there. So the competition is still there that he didn't take care of 6 or 7 years ago. There's more of these guys coming up through the rankings. And you're talking about fighting Bivol? And again, I'll say it again. If you beat Bivol, there's better Biv there. What are you going to do? You still got to come back down to 168, man. And when you come back down to 168, let's run off the names again. Demetrius Andrade, Jamel Charlo. And don't get it twisted. Jamel's at 154. But if a Canelo fight presents itself, don't think for 2 seconds he can't go to 168. Jamal Charlo. David Morrell, David Benavidez, Christian and Billy. Knowing Canelo, there's a guy, I think he's in the, where is he at? I think, could he be in the IBF rankings? I'll look it up real quick. I think the guy's in I think he's in the IBF rankings. He's ranked number 1 in the IBF. His name is William Skull, Scull. I think that's how you say his name. Knowing Canelo, he'll pull that guy out the ether and sell it to you. But he just beat John Ryder in the WBO. But who's ranked that in number 1 in the WBO? Demetrius Andrade. Who's ranked now? I believe David Morrell is the mandatory in the WBA. You could probably get him because he's green. But if you don't want to do that, guess who's ranked number 1 in the WBA? Demetrius Andrade. Now, ranked in the WBC, who's the mandatory? I believe it's David Benavidez. But if you don't want to go that route, who's ranked number 1 in the WBC? Christian and Billy. So do y'all understand what I'm saying? And you still got 2 Charlos running around out there. But you want to go up to face Bivol? What I'm saying, family, to the Canelo fans, there's nowhere for him to go. So if you're cool with this rematch with Bivol, you see this picture, right? If you're cool with this, fine. You like it, I love it. But if he's going to hang around 168, there's no more of this John Ryder stuff. The man got work to do. And a lot of this stuff is because he didn't take care of business 6 or 7 years ago. He was supposed to get those Charlos, at least one of them, a long time ago. He was supposed to get rid of Andrade a long time ago. He could have gotten Benavidez this weekend on Cinco de Mayo. A lot of people say he can beat him. But Benavidez with that win over Caleb Plant, I'm telling you, his confidence is way up. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, hey, man, well, he didn't stop Plant like how Canelo stopped Plant. True indeed. But how do we find out? This is boxing. I think Caleb Plant, the fact that he lost to Canelo the way he did and was able to come back and have success after Canelo, that speaks volumes. And I believe he was a bit of a better fighter fighting Benavidez than he fought Canelo. But Canelo has successfully painted himself into a corner. He's aged himself out. And now you got 3 guys you could have fought all those years ago. And you got 3 guys that are young and fresh. And then you got a guy that's naturally bigger than you that's like, fine, I'll fight you. And if you beat him, what are you going to do? Fight Benavidez? There's nowhere for him to go. This is what happens when you don't fight your contemporaries. It comes back and it bites you in the behind. This is not a diss video. I don't care if you take it that way. If you're a Canelo fan, you should be concerned. You really should be concerned. This is the reality of the situation. This picture is symbolic. He looks old and decrepit right here, trying to shoulder roll off the ropes. Y'all will never understand how bad he got dominated. And it's interesting because he's been outboxed before. We've seen it. Austin Trout was successfully outboxing him before he got knocked down. Lara, Floyd Money Mayweather. He can be outboxed. Miguel Cotto was in there with him. Caleb Plant had success. Bivol is not going to respect him going into this rematch. He's going to outbox him. If he gets him hurt like this again, he's going to go for it. Leave Bivol alone. But while you're at 168, you got problems. So Canelo fans, I'm asking you, what you going to do? What do you want him to do? If you have faith in him, tell me who you want to see him fight. Go ahead, tell me. What I'm saying is, no more John Riders. You're an undisputed champion. You have all these belts. Only top caliber opponents, man. You have 4 belts. That means you have 4 responsibilities. But you also want names. We want names. I don't know who William Skull is. He's ranked number 1 in the IBF. But if he tries to serve you that, stop it. I see Edgar Berlanga down there at number 3. Don't be surprised if he tries to come to Brooklyn, where Edgar's from, and fight him there. Go ahead and play with the fans if you want to. If you're an unconditional Canelo fan, you'll take something like that. Not me. Not me. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Y'all don't even know what y'all think, man. Bronx on deck.